What's up, YouTube? It's your boy BearHands, and I'm out here again with another Last Epoch video for y'all. Uh, Again, this video is meant to come out a week ago. We were ready to do this a week ago because the character kind of got to this point a long time ago. This is basically a follow-up on my previous video on the progress of the cold Werebear character that we've created. And yeah, I just did not have time to put the video together and post it, so here we go. It is what it is. Anyway, let's take a look at the character now. Now, here is our BearHands starter build. We're at level 81 at this point. We kind of, got most of the pieces that we wanted by this point. Again, it's all according to the plan. We did not change anything from, what we wanted to do. We did not veer off the path. We just kind of like ticked all the boxes that we needed to tick with this guy. First, we got these gloves. They just dropped for us. Again, was super lucky. Not super lucky because it's a common drop, but these were literally the first unique gloves that dropped on the character in the league, pretty much, because this was our first character this league, this cycle, rather, I should say. And yeah, the first gloves we drop, it's the Stormhide Paws, and this is basically perfect, best in slot gloves for the build, because we get +1 to swipe, we got shit tons of cold damage, we got health, we got cold res, and yeah, and the ability to have our swipe deal lightning damage every 3 seconds is also pretty good, because we are stacking some of the elemental damage on top, so this helps tremendously in terms of damage, because we are attacking quite fast with the swipe, so we get those lightning hits every 3 seconds, and it just does a lot of damage for us. And then we went ahead and we just farmed out our set. Again, you don't have to farm it if you, let's say, went with the Merchants Guild faction, because it's super easy to get to level 2 of the faction, and you'll be able to just buy the set items right away if you have the enough money for it. So that's very easy to do. But this set is incredibly easy to farm as well. All you have to do is finish Stolen Lands, and the last boss of Stolen Lands drops both items for you. It's a guaranteed drop, and it's a 50-50% chance between dropping a relic or a sword. We got, again, super lucky on this. We killed the boss twice, and we got the set from 2 runs, basically. We got the relic first on the first run, and then he dropped the sword for us, which was incredibly nice of him. And that's it. At that point, that was around level 65, I think, when we got the full set, and we could not use it at that point yet, because this sword requires level 68, as you can see. But once you turn level 68 and you equip both items, you're Gucci, man. You're good to go. Your damage will basically skyrocket. Your cold damage, your elemental damage, everything, you'll feel the difference immediately as soon as you equip the sword together with the relic. Now, furthermore, because we opted to go with the Merchants Guild, I told the chat, and I made a kind of a decision that if by the time I farmed out the set, we did not drop care modes, I will go ahead and just buy it off of the auction. And that's exactly what we've done, because, yeah, by the time we were 68, I actually gave myself a little bit more time, because we got our set at level 65, but, I gave myself till 68 so we can equip the set first and run a few echoes with it, see how it feels. And then, by that point, if I did not drop cure modes, I would just go ahead and buy it. So that's what we've done. I bought it off of it was unfortunate because we got plenty of unique chest drops by the point, but Caramel just wouldn't drop for us. Not from just raw dropping, nor from using Shards of Ascendance either. So I just went ahead and bought it off the auction house just to save some, headache for ourselves. This is an incredible piece, and this is the item that you need to have. You don't have to have it, but it's one of the, like, between everything else, this chest, this unique chest, and the set, the Shattered Lance set, is the 3 items that are kind of, best in slot items for the build until you start farming like 100, 200, 300 corruption, and you keep getting exalted items with, and you can craft exalted items with, I don't know, 2 locked extra, 2 extra affixes and whatnot, and then obviously at that point your item becomes better than what this is. But at this point, at this stage of the character, when you're still running monoliths, normal monoliths, you're still trying to you're still trying to close off normal monoliths. We managed to do that at around level 80. So from around level 68 to 80, you will be doing just normal monoliths, right? And you will not be able to really get those exalted items to beat this set or this chest. So I recommend really getting these items early on, as soon as you're level 68. For the chest, you need level 54, so that's even, you can get it even early if you wanted to. So if you are in a merchant's guild and if you do have money, I would just go ahead and just buy it at level 54 right away. It's not very expensive. I don't remember how much it was to buy this. Maybe like around 25k gold. And that's it. And yeah, and as soon as you have, because this is elemental resistances across the board. This is 5 strength. This is increased elemental damage, and you can see that we're like close to the maximum roll on the elemental damage. That's the most important roll, I think, out of all of them. That and just flat cold damage in Werebear form. So we have a max, we found one with a max melee cold damage and almost maxed out elemental damage, and that's why we bought this piece. Yes, we could have gone for more elemental resistances, but that's not as important as damage, obviously. So, and again, the implicit rolls are kind of mid, so it's just all about the rolls on the damage that I wanted to get. So I got those, and yeah, it's a very, very good piece. And a bonus of this item is that it turns your bear white. Oh, there's a hair. It turns us into a polar bear, essentially. Because I got a lot of you motherfuckers asking on my YouTube comment section, in the Twitch chat while I'm streaming, like, how do you turn your bear white? How did you turn a bear white? Did you like is it like a MTX? Like, did you donate? Like, what happens? Because my bear is not white. I don't know how to make it white. This is how you make your bear white. Okay, guys? You have to equip this item, and automatically your bear becomes white. So if I take it off, and I go back to our naked human form, and now if I go back to the bear form, I'm just a normal grizzly bear. And if I equip it now, and I turn back to the bear form, we'll be a polar bear. Boom, just like that. And for the rest of the gear is, I mean, we found this belt that had legendary potential on it, and I really wanted to farm and find like a nice exalted belt that we could slam into this to get an extra nice stat for it. But man, I just could not, like, I think this belt dropped when we were like at Lagon, which was like, I don't know, maybe around level 70 on our character, maybe even earlier than that. And since then, up until now, and now we're like starting to farm 100 corruption, and I still cannot just drop or craft like a nice exalted belt. Like, it just did not happen for us for whatever reason. But this unique belt is really good for this build because it gives us shit tons of armor. It gives us void and poison resistance, and basically with this you can pretty much cap your poison resistance just with this belt alone. So it alleviates pressure on poison resistance from the rest of your gear because it gives you 37%. I mean, you can get up to 45% on its own roll, and then you get extra resistance while you're transformed. And we're pretty much always transformed. So technically, you can get 45% flat resistance to poison, and you can get up to extra 43% while you transform. So that's effectively like almost, that's 90%, right? Almost. Just on poison alone. So like if I remove this right now, you see we have 12% on poison resistance. If I put it back, we're capped. So this belt alone just takes care of the poison resistance for us. It gives us rage generation. Well, doesn't really give us because it's in Spriggan form. Sorry, I cannot read. But yeah, so this is for Spriggan form builds, but we don't really care about rage gained on this because we generate rage quite well anyway. And like we do not go down on rage ever. Like we don't have rage problems at all on this build. So we don't really care about that last stat. Plus, it gives us 5 potion slots, which is always nice. So this is a very good belt. It's better than anything else I had before this because all I was doing was just like, you know, upgrading my rare belts so that I could get more health or more armor or more resistances. And this is just incredibly good. Like 145 armor is so good. It just adds so much. Like without the belt, I have 1600 armor. With the belt, we have almost 1000, like 300 more armor just with the belt. So overall, like you took care of your resistance, poison resistance, added tons of armor, got us 5 potion slots, and just, you know, extra void resistance is always also good. So yeah, very good belt, very, very good belt. Until you can craft something better than this. Or find this with, I don't know, 2-3 legendary potential, and then you slam it, and then you have even more stats that you want. So this is always good. Now with the rings, again, the rings are lackluster for us. We would like to upgrade these as well, but as of now, it's just, you know, elemental damage, and then stats, and resistances. Again, here the same thing, elemental damage, some stats, and some resistances. The base for the rings that we would like, I think, is like either gold ring, or we, what other bases could work? This is a good base, coral ring, because it gives us vitality and health regen, because our build is all about health regen. So I would opt to go for either a coral ring or a gold ring. Gold ring if you're really like struggling with resistances, you know, because as an implicit it just gives you elemental resistances. And coral ring just for health and regeneration. For the boots, again, we found these exalted boots, which are basically they have all the nice stats for us. You know, a lot of strength. What is this? Tier 5 strength. Well, we crafted them obviously. So we got our strength to tier 5. We got our movement speed to tier 5. We have tier 6 armor on these boots, and then tier 5 physical res as well. So these are very good boots for this stage of the game, that is. The second weapon. Now, the second weapon is important because this is the weapon that really adds damage to the build, and this is the best base for this build. This is the one that you want to go for, because this on just the base level gives you flat melee damage, increased elemental damage, and increased elemental melee attack speed. Fantastic best in slot base, I believe. And you can roll it up to 100% elemental damage, and it's just incredible. Again, this is a really shady rolled one. It still was better than what I had before, because in the affixes we now have flat cold, we have leech, chance on shock we don't care about, but 111% increased stun chance is kind of nice. It's kind of nice for us because we're attacking pretty quickly, and pretty much every second hit we get to stun enemies. And that's very good because it's interrupting the channel of bosses. It interrupts like different mechanics of mobs and whatnot. So it's a very nice stat to have. The more the better. Amulet. Again, we found this incredible base, exalted base, and the funny thing about it is that I've never seen this before in last epoch. It dropped with just one affix, which was the exalted affix, which was tier 6 increased elemental damage, and it didn't have any other affixes on it. So it gave us the opportunity to craft it exactly as we wanted, like to put the other 3 stats that we wanted, not something random that usually that you have, but like, so I got to craft cold damage, health regen, and flat health on top of it. So this is like one of the best amulets I've ever seen at this stage of the game. Like if you are, you know, just crafting on your own without having like 6 affixes on, like for the item that would have 4 affixes on it, this is incredibly good. Because there's not a single wasted stat on this item. And I would go as far as to say this is the best item on us at the moment. Now, the helmet, I am kind of torn between the 2 bases for this build, because on one hand we have a base like this that just takes our armor game to the next level. Like with something like this, you would gain like extra almost 1,000 armor for the build. But this base gives us, I mean, half the armor of this base technically, but it gives us increased health and leech, which is very good for this build as well, because that's how we sustain our life, right? Like the more leech we have, the better, because we attack fast and we attack really powerfully. Like with the maul, we do a lot of damage, and the more leech we have, the more life we'll gain off of it. So I went with this base instead because we had a drop with, again, tier 6 vitality, which is incredible. That's even more life for us. And then we crafted strength, we crafted necrotic resistances on it, and some more flat health. Now, with the idols, nothing crazy going on here. Just, you know, we're picking up damage where we can. So this is melee damage while transformed. This is, again, this was just there for physical resistance. And we're trying to get health where we can. So health, more resistances, freeze rate health. This is health regen. So this is a very good one. You ideally want to have like a mix between these and that. So you would have like a couple of these that would have increased melee damage, and then you would have a couple of these that would have a health regen for you. And then this again for just Fizz Res. Because I wanted to max Fizz Res, I have a lot of the Fizz Res on the idols. And then this again, health and more lightning resistance. So nothing crazy going on here. So if you can max out Fizz Res, you know, Cold Res, and maybe something else with just the gear, and you can also buy idols on the auction if you're in a trade league, in a merchants guild. So you can buy idols if you want to. And what I would do is I would then buy a bunch of these and a bunch of those and just stack them up here for just that crazy health regen and melee damage. Now, for the skills, again, there's no point, I guess, going through them again. It's just more of the same. I've covered all this in the previous video. There's nothing changed on any of the trees. We just at this point, we just max them all out. You know, nothing crazy going on here. We max this out, we max that out for our rage regen. So between these 2 points and 2 points into Ruthless, we never run out of rage. And now we have Woodland Bear as well. That creates entangling roots when we smash the ground, which is additional damage, additional chance to freeze everything, additional chance to chill everything, slow, and also health regen. Again, maxed out everything here. We now have Purging Shout, which is like it cleanses all the ailments on us, as well as healing us every time we shout. And yeah, Entangling Roots, it's just straightforward what I've explained about in the last video and in my, you know, expansive build guide on this guy. Nothing really crazy going on here. Same with the passives. The only thing different now with the passives that we wanted to go for, so basically how I feel about the build at the moment. We have plenty of damage, but survivability, especially on 100 corruption, is a little bit shaky, right? Like, it's a little bit more difficult, and you feel the difficulty spike right away as soon as you jump from normal difficulty to 100 corruption to empower monoliths. So I wanted to kind of like increase the survivability. I want to get more health. I want to get more health regen. So we went with Primal Medicine, 1 into Primal Medicine, so that we could unlock Ancient Coal as well, because this gives us flat health as, you know, every time we spec into it. So ideally, we would like to max this out. And then everything else is the same. Again, nothing changed here. Druid Tree, again, nothing changed here. We maxed this out, maxed that out. This I've talked about. We've maxed Overgrowth for health regen. We've maxed Hide Skin for health and endurance. And then maxed out Blessing Springs and River Spirits for that cold damage that we want. We're also in progress of maxing this out. This is just for attack speed. Again, the more attack speed that we have, the better. And that's it. That's pretty much the build. I will add the gameplay at the beginning of the video, so you've probably already seen how the build performs on 100 corruption. So basically, we had 0 problems along the way. We've unlocked and finished all the monoliths, and we had 0 problems. We've, you know, tried all the bosses, I believe, apart from the last one. Like even Lagon, who is extremely annoying always, I've managed to first try him. Reign of Dragons, first try. Fall of the Empire, first try. So basically all of these, even oh, actually, maybe Herod wasn't first try, but because that fucking boss fight is absolutely bugged to the ground right now. And he is... I mean, we could have, because I know that fight really well, we could have done it the first try, but because he was so bugged, we just got unpredictable shit happen to us. But then again, Spirits of Fire was first try, and then the last Truant is actually not that difficult of a boss, it turned out, but like I had to understand how to do a certain mechanic for the boss before we could take him on. As soon as we figured that out, it was the first try as well. Wasn't like 100% confident in the build because, as I said, damage-wise, we have plenty of damage, but survivability, a little bit shaky. A little bit shaky. So I wanted to see if we could perform. I wanted to run like 1 or 2 echoes as empowered and see how we perform. And again, we can handle it. It's a lot more difficult. You have to be a little bit more careful when you're doing empowered or jumping straight into empowered after this with a setup like this, because you can die. You absolutely can die on normal mobs. They hit you way harder than in normal monoliths, but if you're careful and you know what you're doing, absolutely no problems, as you might have seen in, in the gameplay in the beginning of the video. So just a thorough, just hearty, fucking well balanced, balls to the walls, just stay there, tank everything with your face and do shit tons of damage, freeze everything, and just keep going forward like a freight train. And I think I'm happy with that. I'm ready to move on. I know that this build can now take on 100 on empowered monolith at 100 corruption, no problem. Yeah, I think I'll be moving on from our druid friend here, and I will see you guys on the next build video for Last Epoch. Stay safe and keep it real, cuzzy wuzzies. Bye.